we're leaving Donut.
I am no longer employed by Hoonigan.
That's it. Leaving Hoonigan.
I'm no longer an employee at Hoonigan.
Is leaving Fitman.
So I'm just gonna jump right into this one because I feel like most of us, if you haven't already, you're probably going to, because the videos have been going crazy right now about everyone talking about Donut Media and the separation of the two guys to start up their own channel called Big Time, naming Jeremiah and Joe. These guys are absolutely killing it right now. They just started their channel like, well, as of the recording of this, about a week ago, and they've already got over 1 million subscribers. They obviously have a big following, and everyone from Donut Media jumped right over to follow these guys in the process. I feel like I really need to go over some things that just isn't really talked about in the automotive YouTube world. A lot of it is the difference between these bigger channels and the small channels like me. Now, obviously you could look at it like, oh, well, big business, small business, big corporation, private business. Like, in reality, when it comes down to it, if you want to start a YouTube channel, you pretty much, what I've come to the conclusion is, you have to treat it like a business. You have to put the time and effort into it. It doesn't happen overnight. Well, for some it might, but for most of us, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to put the time and effort into becoming great at making videos, or if you're working on cars, obviously you have to be privy with working on cars. I want to touch on a little bit of all of that and why the bigger channels might just be in their downfall right now. These larger YouTube channels, they have all this money, all this backing. Why don't they ever do anything like a VG30 300ZX? Why do we have companies like Throttle taking the VG30, throwing it in the trash, calling it a trash motor, and putting an SR20 in the 300ZX thinking it's the greatest thing since sliced bread? Most of you with 300ZXs in the Z32 community would probably agree with me that that wasn't necessarily the smartest choice. However, for them in their position, I can see where it was a smart choice. So not necessarily bashing on the idea of swapping in an SR20 into a 300ZX. It's not like you're losing a full liter of displacement and 2 extra cylinders, because that's totally unimportant.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
We're not totally going to be focusing on that, but I will touch on it here in this video because, well, primarily I want to focus on these larger automotive YouTube channels and try my best to explain some things that, well, may not be quite as obvious as many of you might think. All you see is these people leaving the channel, explaining how, oh, I'm having issues with the design creativity team. I want to be my own creative thinker, my own person, and my own YouTube channel, my own YouTube space. Kind of what's happening with a lot of different YouTube channels right now. You got Hoonigan, which happened a little over a year ago, Fitman Industries, which happened, a couple years ago. And believe it or not, Donut Media was actually acquired by a larger company called Recurrent Ventures back in 2021. However, some of these guys are just now leaving today. Why is that? And then you obviously have companies like Throttle, who, well, to my knowledge, I don't think they've been acquired by a larger corporation or media firm. They just have their own agenda for certain things, and well, they sell automotive parts. They have to sell automotive parts, and in doing so, they can build cars to promote their own parts that they sell in-house to you, the viewer. Whereas, you know, there's people like me who we love the cars that we have. And that's part of what makes channels like mine so unique. And most people just don't have the proper mindset to build cars because, well, when it comes down to it, just because you can work on cars doesn't necessarily mean that you can build cars. And just because you can build cars doesn't necessarily mean that you can diagnose cars. I know so many people in the automotive industry that work at the dealership that have zero idea what to do when it comes to an engine swap. There are vast differences between these people, and most people generally assign car people to like the whole plethora of things. And well, there are very, very, very few of us that can sit down and confidently say, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do this, or I'll figure this out. I can figure that out. Just to put it in perspective, on my channel, I literally do everything. Everything from engine builds to tuning, street tuning, electrical, harness, diagnosis, engine swaps, video creation, editing, t-shirt design. Every single part of my channel is done by one guy, and that's me. I can't afford to go pay somebody else to build my motor for me. You would not see this car being built behind me if I had the funds to pay somebody else to build the motor. Meanwhile, you got big companies like Throttle, Donut Media, Hoonigan. They have one guy that does media and editing. They got one guy that does like engine builds. They have another guy that does upholstery. Like, this is a true one-man show here on this channel, you guys. And I must say, thanks to each and every one of you that support me along the way, because the channel is growing. I couldn't be happier, but I would really like to see this channel blow up this year, and we're working hard on that. So thank you to you guys that do support me. Well, at the end of it all, you'll never see major automotive YouTube channels building cars like a VG30 powered 300ZX or a 7M Mark III Supra. If you guys remember a couple years ago, there was a throttle series where they bought a 3000 GT. And in all honesty, I think it was soon after that they realized that, hey, this was a mistake, because they didn't know anything about those motors. They actually called somebody else in to build the motor for them. Kind of a similar thing, I think, to happen with the 300ZX. Although, in all honesty, well, let's face it, the SR20 was kind of a very rough idea, and it didn't really bode well to them. As a matter of fact, I think most of us in the 300ZX community will agree that SR20 is not really the best choice for these cars. I mean, it's not really a best choice for any car, in my opinion, unless you're keeping it in the 240SX. Now, you can call me a purist all day long, like, I don't really care. In all honesty, I'm not really a purist. I just like what makes sense. And the only reason SR20 would ever make sense is for weight distribution and balance. And then we have the Supra, the Mark III 7M Turbo. Yes, they're beautiful cars. They're very well known. The 7M can hold lots of power. There are quite a few people on YouTube that I have seen building these cars. There was, I think, one major automotive channel that was building one a while back. And I'm familiar with Pixie Dust, and I don't remember her name. Now, in all honesty, even the Mark III Supra is something that many people avoid because of the 7M. They are afraid of the 7M. So originally, I passed up on this video idea. I had the chance to do it back when Hoonigan was coming apart, Ken Block passed away, people were leaving left and right, and it just wasn't the same it was, and also, they sold out, much like Donut Media did. However, Donut Media took much longer to crumble and fall apart than Hoonigan did, which rightfully so, because technically, Ken Block's passing took a toll on a lot of the guys, not necessarily just for the fact that, you know, he was the owner, but more so the fact that he was a friend to many of them. And after his passing, when you have somebody that important in your life to you, the rest of the company and the rest of the time spent there just isn't going to be the same. It's all about the clicks and the money for these guys, because at the end of the day, the big corporations have come in, they purchased these smaller channels that were doing well because these guys liked what they were doing. They were creative minds, had great ideas, they had great chemistry between them, and the bigger corporations swoop in and buy it up, and then they just want money, money, money out of these guys, and which means they only want videos that will get clicks. Not necessarily how well the chemistry is between the people that are in the video, because in all honesty, that could really make or break a YouTube channel. Now, obviously at these bigger YouTube channels, there are a lot of great talented people behind the scenes, as well as in front of the cameras. All that comes at a cost, because with that, there's more overhead, there's more mouths you have to feed, which means the more money you have to make to maintain these people's social lives or family needs. Not to mention these major media companies that just want to show a profit at the end of every quarter so they can get more money from different investors based on their own earnings for the quarter or fiscal year. While there may be a lot of pressure on the YouTube channels to make a profit every year, there are definitely some positive things that come from it, because so many of these people that work for these companies at the end of the day have a mostly secure job that they can come into on Monday. They get the benefits, you know, they get that paycheck every week. It's not living, you know, oh, is my video gonna perform well this week? Is it gonna go bad the next week? Am I going to sell enough merch the following week? Which I'm sure for many of them, that's perfectly fine and they love it. They love their job and it's all they want. Now, look at Jeremiah, for instance, from Donut Media. If I recall correctly, he said he was an engineer before going to Donut Media. He wasn't satisfied with his job. Yes, he could be making a lot more money and have really badass cars, but at the end of it all, he wasn't happy with that. And he left everything to go work for Donut Media and just do something that he loved to do. Let's look at Donut Media here. They were founded in 2015 by a guy named Ben Conrad. And my opinion, they really blew up around 2019 and carried through COVID, where I think a lot of YouTube channels skyrocketed in views and popularity, and the more popular ones are still intact to this day. However, 2021, Donut Media sold out to a company called Recurrent Ventures, which is obviously, as you can probably imagine, a bigger media company. It happens. Now, I don't know what exactly happened with Ben Conrad, the original owner, but at the end of it all, corporation bought it out and they took over and they want to see profits. Now, a lot of the people stuck around Donut Media. Jeremiah and Job didn't leave until, well, a month ago, 2 months ago. And to be honest, I think they said they would still be on there periodically, but they started their own YouTube channel to venture off and do their own thing called Big Time. And you know what? These guys are absolutely killing it. With Jeremiah and Job leaving Donut Media, I feel that there will be many more to follow in the coming weeks or months. If you guys remember back several years ago, a similar thing happened to Hoonigan. And unfortunately, it was due to Ken Block's passing. And with that, sent ripples throughout the automotive community as a whole. Now with Ken Block's passing, in came Wheel Pros and bought up Hoonigan, pretty much forcing all the other guys who didn't sign on a contract or anything else with them to go ahead and leave and start up their own thing. You had Hurt, who started up Nappy Boy Automotive with T-Pain. You have Vinny, who went off and did, I guess he did his own thing, I'm pretty sure. And then obviously Brian Scotto, which honestly, I'm not really too sure what he ended up doing. I believe he's still with Hoonigan. Maybe some of you guys can correct me on this one, but perhaps there's some sort of contract or NDA that needs to time out before Brian Scotto can move on. Because I feel like he's been really quiet lately and he's changed a little bit since Ken's passing, which very understandable. Now compare these massive channels with big overhead to channels such as, well, Cletus McFarlane, or maybe Boosted Boys would be a better one. All these guys have their own personalities, and for the most part, that's what runs their channels. Not necessarily the new car builds or clickable content or anything like that. Now, yes, there is some of that to some degree. However, they run the channels on their own style with their own creativity and their own mindset. They might have a few guys that chime in here and there to suggest creative ideas and content for their channel. However, for the most part, they do it all at their own free will. Again, back to my initial statement at the beginning of this video, it's like running a small business compared to a big corporation. And don't even get me started on companies like Fitman Industries. Well, I guess they kind of fall in line with Throttle in that they have their own automotive store. And the primary reason for making any kind of content to begin with is to drive business to their Throttle automotive store. And which is primarily why they will never do a car like a 300ZX with a VG30 in it. Because, well, VG30 parts are hard to come by. They're hard to get. You know, there's only a few people that are still making new products for the VG30. And for the most part, nobody knows anything about these cars, so why would they click on them? I know I'm not the best videographer, I'm not the best editor, and I may have a few things wrong when it comes to automotive, but don't get me wrong, I always try to give you the most knowledge I can and the most content I can with every single one of my videos. So the best thing you can do if you like content like this, or if you want to see small channels flourish and do well, do me a favor, you guys, hit the like button, share this video, send it to your other 300ZX friends, send it to your other Mark III Supra friends. Like, yes, I started doing YouTube at the hope that, well, maybe one day I can do this for a living, because in all honesty, I truly enjoy doing this. I don't want to be working on other people's cars for the rest of my life, here and there, but not everyone. I work in the automotive industry professionally, and in all honesty, it will burn you down, it will wear you out to where you don't even want to work on your own stuff. So I tell everyone who's thinking about getting into it not to. It's the unfortunate truth, and it's not easy, it's expensive, tools are expensive, you have to know so much getting into it. Well, I digress. What I'm getting at here is I see that happening with these bigger automotive YouTube channels, and it's unfortunate to say the least, because, well, they started off with good content, and I remember loving Hoonigan back in the day when they were still doing burnouts in the back of their shop. And now it's just gotten kind of crazy, but I digress. I think for the most part, it needed to happen, and I'm sure a lot of the guys that are making the switch to their own YouTube channels are greatly enjoying themselves 10 times better. So shout out to Jeremiah and Job for making the switch. I wish you all nothing but the best. Hurt, same thing. Dude, gotta give those guys props because they're absolutely killing it out there. I'd love to see Nappy Boy Automotive do more. However, I understand they got a lot going on with their plates as it is. Now back to the core idea of, well, my channel, this video, and the fact of, well, will you ever see a VG3300ZX built on the likes of a YouTube channel such as Throttle or Donut Media or Hoonigan? More than likely not, especially not with the VG30 because, well, we've seen the SR20 and most people don't even want to do the SR20. Most people are just afraid of the cars in general. You'll never see anything like this on any of those channels. You'll see LS swaps, you'll see K-series swaps, but I assure you, you will not see anything like this, you guys. So for those of you that have been following me, I greatly appreciate all the support. If you don't mind sharing the content that I got out here already, I would greatly appreciate it. This entire car was built on this channel. I got videos up if you haven't seen it already. Does it happen overnight? No. I am not going to be fully building this motor in my garage and then tuning it on the street to 30 PSI and 900 plus horsepower. I can't do that. I don't have a dyno. If I had a dyno, I may be more inclined to turn the boost up in this car, but for right now, 20, 22 PSI is probably really good for the street. And in all honesty, at 20, 22 PSI, the car should be making right around 700 horsepower. So we're getting there. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it's a little bit off topic from what I'm normally posting. In all honesty, some days we just need a break and it's great to just talk and let it out and pretty much put everything out there that I've been thinking of. If there's any videos that you guys would like to see in the future, whether it be like a simple conversation video, a topic video, or maybe a modification done to the 300ZX, I might be inclined to do something that somebody recommends. But that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Take care and we'll see you on next time.